I didn't ask myself if I had the right to do that. I was touched by an article that I read in the newspaper 6 months after the attacks about a woman that recovered and gathered all things she found and that were left behind in the departure hall where the attacks took place. She said this lost luggage can help people to realize what has happened, or can be the starting of a healing process, because you're getting back a tangible remain of someone you have lost. The fact she thought that as a very natural thing to do, that was for her a very natural thing to do, that touched me, because I thought that's maybe the core of what we need as people, that we can have everything we want in our lives, money, houses, cars, but you're here today and you're gone tomorrow. What if that happens to you? What do you need? You need a woman like our main character. It was a very big responsibility for me to write something about those things, but I kept all 8 workers, the victims I talked to, I kept them so close to me. And I'm here with their support. So I feel confident about the trip I made, because it was thanks to their input, thanks to their stories. They need recognition. People need to be, not to be forgotten. And I thought that was the most important thing, that I could help and make other people see how important their struggle was and how they could overcome their struggle, or that people could see what it meant for them, or that they could talk about it when this was back on television. They could come together, because it has been very difficult in a sector where, in the industry, where you need content to guard the integrity of the people and of the victims. And I wanted to stay as close as possible to that sensibility. I kept on talking with 8 workers until the end. I showed them at my place at home. I had a VZ of the 2 first episodes, and I showed my room was filled with 12 people to watch. They read before, they followed me every step of the way. I wanted that, and I thought it was very important in this story. When we first talked about with the woman of the article, we saw that her appearance was Moroccan, and that was so important for us to tell, because the perpetrators were also from the same country, and it was important to put the other side of the story. There are people, Muslims, who have lost their loved ones.
Goedendag, Samira Laroussa, federale politie. Ik heb mevrouw Goossen aan de lijn gehad. U bent?
Yvonne, kun je geloven, dan sturen ze een moslim naar hier om die rugzak terug te brengen.
Waar
Is de moslim voor ons deur. Eerst maakt het Lorsque de alles kapot. En dan kunnen ze hard en alles nog terugbrengen ook. Alles pakken die ogen, dat is er al.
Well, maybe I was naive when I started this project, but I think you need this naivety. If I had known the whole road, maybe I wouldn't have started this, but still, as a creator, and as an actor or as a maker, I feel responsible. I felt the responsibility to talk about things that touch me and to be like a sort of medium to hand it through. And what I have been touched by, I give it to you. And I hope you are touched, or you can look at things on a different way, or it can help you, or it can support you. And it can also be a message of hope. You can struggle. It's okay to struggle. It's okay. You have a life before and after, and you can get through. Well, I think it helps to tell the story, because our main character is denying her own trauma. But by bringing back the pain to the people, her own pain is being ripped open, and she is forced to look at her own pain. Every episode starts on the morning of the attacks, and we follow another main character, a character that comes in for one episode, or sometimes for more episodes. But they are all linked. The 6 episodes of people are all linked the morning before, and then we jump to 10 days later. So we chose not to, that's also a very important thing, we chose not to recreate the terrible events, the attacks. We don't do that because I didn't want it to be a story about the perpetrators. I didn't want it to be a sensational story. I wanted to be a story that was about the struggle, about the victims, because we have enough series that deal with perpetrators and why they did things. But these people have to live with what they've been through for the rest of their lives. So these stories, the morning before, because there's always a before and an after with a traumatic experience, before are all connected in the airport. So you see what is destiny. When you just went out to smoke a cigarette, maybe you're still alive. I play the role of my character. I have a very small role in the series, and my character is based on a woman that gathered all the guarding material to trace where everyone was, because she said showing this to the victims is also something that heals, because they want to know, where was I, what happened, or what happened to my mother, or what happened to... So she showed them. And she did it step by step. She showed that to them. And she retracked all the traces, and she said, at a certain moment, I see, for the metro, I see a woman passing another woman, running towards the metro, to get on the metro. That woman was standing here, the other one is standing there. If she wouldn't have run, she would be behind the other one. She would still have been alive. That's the drama of things. And you know, these victims, these are all victims. We could have been there.
Zie je wel dat we steeds waren op de schoenen zijn, maar dan weer te vroeg. Sorry!
It's my first time as a writer. You try to make something that is very sensitive, that has a lot of integrity, and there's a lot of, I think there's a tension field between production and storytelling. And that's what I experienced. I'm an actor, I'm a storyteller or a singer. I try to tell stories, or that's my aim and that's my search, to tell stories that move people. When you get into a world, into an industry that is looking for content, between storytelling, there's a big gap sometimes. And that, I think, is the hardest lesson I have learned in making this project. My respect for writers is enormous, because everything starts with the story. But if you see the small amount of money that is invested in that story, in research, in what is the core business of what a series can be, well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I hope so. I think all art forms are there trying to heal people. That's why it's naive. Can art save the world? I don't know. Did you miss art during COVID? It's not, you cannot grasp it. It touches your soul. And if you can relate to the characters and you can see the struggle they are going through, maybe you can say, well, I am not alone. I see it's okay to be sad. You can have new insights, you can empathize, you can look at things in a different way, you can ask yourself questions, why this, why that? And I think talking about it, when this happens, you are united as a viewer. You can talk about it. So I hope it has a healing factor, yes.